Alright, today I'm going to talk to you guys about using Achieve 3000 in your ELA classrooms and also in other subject areas as well. Today we're going to focus on scheduling lessons in Achieve 3000 and also utilizing some of the resources that Achieve offers. And we may go over some of the grading and reports at the end as well. So first things first, make sure you're on the website portal.achieve3000.com. When you get there, go ahead and log in. And you see I teach multiple classes, so I have a drop down of all my classes. Today I'll go with my homeroom and log in. And your home screen should look similar to mine with lessons, activity score for kids, how many activities they're completing, all your data, and some successes at the bottom. Now just some basic navigation. Right here where it says teacher, it's going to be where your settings are. You can grade writing from right here. Any notifications you have, your mailbox is here. This is the Lexile level your Achieve program is set to. And then over here it's where you toggle between classes. And if you ever get stuck in Achieve, this is your friend. This logo, if you click on it, it will always take you back home. One really cool thing that is new to Achieve is this Ask Achieve button at the bottom. If you click on it, this is where your help center, where you can type in anything you want, from monitoring progress to blended learning to if you don't see something, type it in. Parent communication, you're going to find all kinds of things that you can use to communicate with parents that way. So pretty cool navigational tools. Now, I want you to click on the hamburger on the left side. This is where you're going to find your lessons, grading, reports, and the student centers. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at how to schedule a lesson. I'm going to show you two different ways to schedule a lesson, and then we'll look at the resources. So first, if you click on My Lessons, this is going to pull up the list view of all your lessons. Now, if you're looking at your lessons through list view, you're going to see the start and the end date, the title of the lesson, the topic, and then the strategy that it teaches. If you don't see a lesson there you like, just click search for more lessons. You can type something in, use the advanced options to find standards, content, topics, all that good stuff. There are also other ways to look at your lessons you have scheduled. You can look at them by day, week, month, or even year. My personal favorite view is the month view, so that's what I'm going to show you. Okay, and when I click on month view, it shows me every lesson that is going to basically pop up on my student's home screen on that day. Now let's say, for example, the lesson King of the Skies is supposed to pop up on a Saturday. I don't want it to pop up on a Saturday because I want my kids to do that in class on a Monday morning. All you have to do is click on the lesson and literally drag it where you want it, and there it is. So when they come in on Monday the 19th and log in, that is going to be the lesson that pops up on their screen. And like I said, you can click toggle on all these different views to look at. Yearly view, one neat thing is you can actually look by subject and content area over here. Like, when am I going to have Earth and Science lessons scheduled? There you go. Then you can say, when will I have engineering lessons scheduled? Pretty cool. Okay. Alright. Click on your logo to go home. Another way to schedule lessons is this way. If you scroll down, you'll see lessons. If you click on Schedule My Lessons, you're going to do exactly what I just showed you. So let's do it a different way. I'm going to click on the title of a lesson. Okay. And if you're very unfamiliar with Achieve, this is what students will see. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts of the lesson, plus the stretch, which is going to be the on grade level article. Click on the article. And when you click on the article, you have to kind of scroll and click Assign. When you click Assign, it takes you to your mailbox. And this is what I really like to do when I assign lessons. You can decide who you're sending this to. So let's say I want to send my whole class. You can decide what date it's going to actually send. Let's say I want this to send October 16th. Then you can write a little message. My students have a hard time remembering to cite text evidence in their writing, so I like to just hit them with little reminders in my message every time. Also, if you have some sort of graphic organizer or something that you want students to use while they're doing their lesson, you can actually attach a file, which I think is pretty cool. And then you can send it. So that's another way to schedule lessons. Let's go back to the article so we can look at some of the resources now. Now, this right side that says supporting resources is going to be where you find the bulk of your resources. Prep for SC Ready actually has things that you can do, strategies that you can show students to help them prepare for end of the year testing. Teacher recommendations, it literally tells you word for word what you could say to students to help them get through these 5 steps independently. Under teacher materials, there are answer keys, curriculum key, graphic organizer that goes with this lesson, South Carolina standards, a lesson plan, help for your ELL students and struggling readers, and then even some gifted and talented support, which I think is pretty neat because these are the children that a lot of times get left behind because they're already so high. We forget that we need to challenge them. Achieve does a really good job of providing enrichment resources for these children. Also, you'll find vocabulary, and then extras like a map, puzzle, citations, and rubric. Now, students will be able to see this vocabulary and extras. They won't see all this. But the awesome thing is, if they can't read one of the vocabulary words, they can just press play to hear it read for them.
Resident. Noun. Person who lives in a place.
Pretty neat resource for them. And there are lots more resources on Achieve that you can get to by, of course, the Hamburger has connections to the Writing Center, the Career Center. The Writing Center is really going to help give students little hints to improve their writing. Career Center, they actually choose a career, and then Achieve shows them where they need to grow in their Lexile level to be able to be successful in that career. So that's pretty neat. What I want to show you next is the reports. So if you've already clicked on the Hamburger, under reports, you'll see student work, usage, performance, assessment, and then home communications. These are all really, really great tools and reports to use. The one that I find the most helpful is probably the student work report. So I'm going to click on that. This is where you can actually pull up individual steps of the lessons that students have done. So I could go to my lessons and just pull up the answers to the thought questions if I wanted to see what kind of answers my class completed on the thought question. Under usage reports, this is a good one to get those kids who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. You can see which ones are using the program, how often they're on it, and actually what parts of the lesson they're spending their time on. So if they're just trying to waste time and they're spending it on one part for 30 minutes, you can actually see that. And then this one's pretty neat, which of my students are using the program after school. That shows you that too. Under performance reports, the one I really like to look at, well, I actually like these two. The biggest one, how likely are my students to be on track for college and career when SC Ready is administered? Now this is pretty neat. And for the safety of my students, I'm not going to actually pull up my report because it does list first and last names. But if you run this report, it will actually show you if your students were to take SC Ready today, which students would be on grade level, which would be approaching, and which would be exceeding. So that's very neat, and it shows you what areas they're struggling in. So it's a very neat way of really making sure your children are ready for end of the year testing. So as you can see, Achieve offers a good amount of resources, lots of help, any kind of things that you need help with. If you use the help button at the bottom, that's a great tool to utilize. So I hope that I have offered you some help today and you can better plan your lesson and use the resources and also use the assessment tools. Thanks for watching.